You know what I was thinking about the other day is when, let's say you're hitting a first serve, you dunk it in the net, and it rolls back towards you like a few feet, maybe even closer to the service line. What does everybody else do in that situation? Do you take time to go to the ball, move it out of your way, or do you just hit your second serve? You know, the funny thing is I don't even know if it's a rule to where if there's a ball in the center-ish of the court, you have to move it. I've always thought of it as like a pretty big business decision. Because there was one time I was playing in high school, it was a pretty big match, and I remember losing it. And there was one point, I guess it was a very crucial point, that I ended up hitting that first serve into the net, rolling back, and I went and moved it. And after the match, I went up to my coach, and my coach was like, "Hey, do you remember when you moved that ball at the net?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I knew you were going to double fault after you did that." And I thought to myself, like, and he told me, it was like, don't move that. If you big point, don't screw up your second serve. And the thing is, like, I'll do that. I'll actually do that now. I don't really move balls that are in the center of the net after a first serve, or it's towards the center of the court after a first serve, because I don't want to screw up the timing of my second serve. Maybe I'll do it if like I'm tired and I just want to like get a quick extra few like seconds of like just gathering my energy, because I know that my serves are pretty good that day. But I also do it because I know that it's either the person I'm playing against probably doesn't care. 2, they probably find it very distracting. And 3, I can only hope that they get, upset at the fact that I'm leaving, the ball there. I'm probably being a dick for doing it, because there's probably somewhere in the rule books that says like, hey, if it's reasonably in the center of the court, like, you gotta move it. And don't get me wrong, if it's obviously in the center of the court, like, I'm not gonna be that big of a dick and not move it, but I also kind of will do it and not move it, because maybe it's upsetting my opponent, and maybe I'm losing, and maybe I'm trying to find any way to claw my way back into the match. So like, let's see if my opponent can play well when they're a little angry or a little annoyed. But there's one time that I will not never, I don't want to say never, because okay, if the ball is directly by my feet, I'm going to move it. But if I'm serving and I miss the first serve long or wide, and my opponent hits it directly back at me, which a lot of players do that, and they do that on purpose, I know they do, and it hits the back of the fence and rolls back towards you for your second serve, like, one, it's either the other person is just doing it unconsciously, or 2, the other person's doing it to try to get that ball to come back close to my feet so it interrupts my second serve. I will 100% leave that ball. People even like look at me like, my opponent will be like, "Hey, is that ball behind you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine," and just continue doing my thing. And I know that like, you can kind of feel the breeze change a little bit, like the smell in the air change a little bit when you tell them no, and that you continue to play, and there's a ball kind of relatively close to you. Like, I'm still wondering if it bothers them more, or it obviously not bothers me, because I do it all the time and I don't mind it. It sounds like kind of a dick thing to do, but like, when you're in the middle of battling out a match and it's close, like, every little mind game works. And if I have to only assume that if they keep doing that to me, that they're trying to play a mind game too. So instead of getting mad, instead of like throwing a tantrum. Just figure out how to play a mind game back, and don't let them rattle you, and just try to keep your cool and like get them rattled first. But anyways, this was a short one. I think we only played a set today, and but anyways, that's it. I will catch you all later. Hope you enjoyed.